Hi, I'm Alderwoman Sheila Finlayson. Welcome to our Annapolis. It is a pleasure to have with me today Dr. Patsy Blackshear to talk about an exciting new program that's being sponsored by the Lynx. But before we get into the program, what's the Lynx?
I'm glad you asked. First of all, thank you for having me here. The Lynx is an organization of women of color who are professionals in various areas, and it's a service-based, a community-based organization, and we have chapters all over. There are chapters all over the United States, the Bahamas, the District of Columbia, and even the United Kingdom. Actually, there's almost 300 chapters, and it's a very old service organization. So we are about providing services to Anne Arundel County, and we do just that, and we've been doing it since 1960s.
Well, as a member of the Lynx, I know that we have been serving the Annapolis community for well over 50 years now.
That's correct. 1962, in fact.
1962, I should know that. And we provide our services through the 5 facets.
That's correct.
Health is one of them.
Health.
Which is national trends, I guess.
That is correct. That is
International trends.
That is correct. We do
Services
abroad.
to youth. I want to leave the arts for last, but I'm missing one.
Okay.
National trends, international trends, services to youth. And I am so embarrassed that I don't remember the one, anyway, I'm missing one of them.
Okay.
But the one facet about which we're going to talk today is the arts.
And that's true, and that's why I'm here, because the chapter gives out scholarships every year. In fact, we give out about $10,000 a year in scholarship. We support our community in the growth and development of young people. As you mentioned, we have a services to youth facet that has run an academy for young women at Annapolis High School for a number of years. But the arts facet for the first time is premiering its effort to provide a grant to a youngster who's interested in musical exploration or music expression based upon their particular interest and style. And we love that idea that we don't dictate the area of music exploration that you pursue. You tell us what you're interested in. So that's what that grant's about, and it's the art facet that's doing that.
Well, before we talk about the specifics of the grant, how did this idea come about?
Well, it came about because of this person. This person, Joyce Peacoat McManus. I love that middle name. Joyce used to always say, the P stands for Peacoat. Joyce was a teacher in the Anne Arundel County school system, and she was also a member of the Lynx. She joined the chapter long before I did, and she's been in the chapter. I've been in the chapter since I think 1990 or 91. You've been in the chapter that long as well.
26 years?
Long
27
time.
years?
Long time.
Yeah.
And Joyce was in the chapter before then. But as a teacher in the Anne Arundel County school system, she was a musical genius. And she promoted musical excellence within the young people that she worked with. And that was not only in the school system, but in the community. She's deceased now and no longer with us, but in honoring her memory and all that she did to develop and promote the musical excellence of young people, the chapter decided to issue this grant in her name. So it's because of Joyce that we are doing this.
So this grant is in honor of Joyce Pico McManus.
That is correct.
Joyce, and we've talked a little bit about the Lynx, but Joyce was also the musical director for the Lynx Incorporated.
That's correct. That is correct.
And I recall many national assemblies all over the country where she directed the choir
and she would make sure we sang our song appropriately.
Absolutely. And she tried to teach us as members of the Annapolis chapter, some of us better than others. But anyway, so this grant gives young people of any age an opportunity to write a play, write a musical, write a song. Exactly what is it that you're looking for as examples of their work?
Okay. First of all, age. This first grant is targeted towards sophomores and juniors. That's unusual because a lot of times it's seniors. But seniors are looking at graduating, getting into college, and since it's the first year, we wanted to grow it. So we're starting with sophomores and juniors. That's 10th and 11th grade students. They can be in the public school system, they can be in a private school system, they can in a private school, they can be in a parochial school. We are looking at young people who want to explore in their own musical interests and to express themselves through music. That could be through singing, it could be through an instrument, it could be through writing a score, it could be through working with a master somewhere, it could be opera, it could be hip hop, it could be blues, it could be jazz. Joyce believed that youngsters should be exposed to all musical genres, and she felt particularly that young African American students should understand the foundation of the African Americans' contribution to the various music styles that are out there. So it's whatever musical interest the youngster has.
And so you are looking at sophomores and juniors.
That's correct.
In high school, in public, non-public schools.
That is correct.
And you expect them to demonstrate what their focus is going to be. I mean, if it's vocals, do you expect them to give you a copy of themselves singing?
A sample? No. That's interesting. See, it's musical exploration. So we might have a youngster who has not had an opportunity to be engaged in a formal musical development program, and therefore they have this interest and they want to explore. So unlike a scholarship where you are looking at excellence in a particular area, what we are looking for is interest in a particular area and the ability of that youngster to follow through on the concept that they wish to explore. So that means that there is no sample work, there is a description of what you want to do, background information on you, and then 2 letters of recommendation. One of those letters of recommendation becomes, both of them important, but one of them is getting at whether or not you are able to commit yourself and follow through. Because you'll have these resources and you'll have a year in which to implement this grant effort, but we want to make sure that you are able to start something and bring it to closure. At the end of that year, that's when you demonstrate what you have done.
So your grant initially asks for your ideas.
Yes.
And in a year, you will expect that idea to develop into a product.
That is correct.
That you will judge
Yep.
the merits of, and thus award the grant to the young person.
In a year, we will judge the merits of your idea, your clarity of the description, so we're clear on what you're proposing. We will compare that to other ideas that are presented, and we will just choose one this first year. That's when we make the decision. So having made the decision in awarding that grant to you, you would then have a year to implement your idea. I tell people it's interesting. Who was the author of the musical Hamilton?
Lin-Manuel.
Lin-Manuel.
Yeah.
I read something about him once. You know, he got I believe it was a 2-year humanities grant to develop that play. Isn't that something?
Really?
Yeah, yeah. So think about that. This is kind of like a little mini effort associated with that. So you have a 1-year development effort to develop some musical interest you want to pursue. It could be starting a band, it could be writing a score, it could be spending some time with a master, it could be working with a group as an intern. So, and so instead of going to summer school, you use these resources to offset maybe the dollars that you would have earned through a job. So you're going to have an internship somewhere in the musical area. But it's a year of development.
Well, it's an exciting opportunity for a young person, someone who's got an idea in the back of their mind, but no way or reason to pursue it.
Yeah, yeah.
And this gives them an opportunity.
It sure does.
How are you getting?
Think about all those young people who started an effort in their garage or in their bedroom. So this is an opportunity to come out, if you will.
Absolutely. So how are you getting the word out to the young people and to their parents and community supporters?
Any and every way we can. That's why I appreciate your giving us this opportunity to talk about this grant on your show. We're sending notices to churches. We're sending notices to community groups that work in the musical arena. We're sending notices to people within the school system. So anybody we know who has any involvement whatsoever with music, whether it's a choir, whether it's a band, whether it's a formal or an informal musical avenue, we're sending out notices.
So the message is, if you've received a notice about the Joyce McManus grant, spread the word.
Please.
Share it with your congregations, share it with your community leaders, share it with the young people in your school. I assume the school system is also part of that distribution.
Yes.
And for younger students, for example, those who may be in the PVA program at Bates, a good opportunity to start thinking.
Yes.
So that when they get of age, they're ready to jump right into such a grant.
Yeah, we hope to grow this program so that we can offer more in subsequent years. But for this first effort, it's just one. But we're looking forward to seeing that interest grow so that we can support that interest. Joyce loved that type of opportunity for young people.
So is there a dollar value award that will be given?
There's a max. It's the max is $2,000. So it's a nice little healthy amount for youngsters to pursue. But they have to give us the budget to show us how they plan to spend it. It's not just here's $2,000.
Right.
How are you going to use these resources? How would these resources support the idea that you described in your plan? So the max is $2,000, but it is a $2,000 amount that you have to defend. You could submit a request for $800. You could submit a request for $1,200, and you could submit a request up to $2,000.
So the young person will decide how much they would like to have to support their project.
That is correct.
Up to $2,000.
Up to $2,000.
Wow, that's pretty exciting too.
Yeah.
So what's the timeline for this program?
Thank you. Plenty of time still left. The application opened on September 15th, and the application stays open for 6 weeks to November 1. So we have about a month left for applicants to submit their proposal. The proposal is submitted through Access Online, through the Lynx website. It's AnnapolisLynx.org.
AnnapolisLynx.org.
Yes, Annapolis Lynx being one word, .org. And when you go there, it's easy to find. You'll see a beautiful picture of a piano. So that tells you where to click. But you go to our scholarship page, and you go there, and you will find the application. You'll find background information about Joyce, background information about the grant itself, some Q&As to help you get a clearer understanding of the grant and of the application process. And so the application is right there. You can fill it in online. And remember, there's that application and then there's 2 letters of recommendation.
If someone has questions, to whom should they direct their questions?
And right there on that application website, it tells you how to submit questions that you might have.
Okay. So there's a question, answer, or
it's like contact us type thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So you can forward any questions. So if you have questions, it's kind of like forward your questions here. Yeah.
Okay. Well, this sounds like a really exciting opportunity for young people who particularly have a musical interest. This grant will give them the opportunity to pursue the development of their project, whatever it may be.
Yes, yes.
And have an opportunity to win cash money that will help them
to
fulfill that.
It's like a
dream.
Kickstart.
Yes.
Isn't that wonderful?
Absolutely.
When you think about the Ramsey Lewis or the Miles Davis or the opera singer down the road who got their start from this grant.
Well, what an exciting opportunity.
Yeah.
I should say thank you to the Lynx for allowing you and our chapter to pursue this grant opportunity.
We're very happy to have had Joyce with us and the contribution that she made to our local chapter and to our community. She was just really engaged in promoting and furthering her art and sharing it with others. You remember something called the Igbo Arts?
Oh, I do remember.
Joyce, I believe, I know she was the president of Igbo Arts once, but she was one of the founding members of Igbo Arts. And her whole effort there was, again, expanding the arts into the community to people so they would understand the importance of art and through music. So she's done a lot.
Well, she's no longer with us, but this grant program will help to perpetuate her memory.
Yes.
As well as all the contributions she's made to our community and nationwide, really.
Yes.
Worldwide. I mean, she's got family in other countries that value the contributions she made.
Yes.
And I suspect there are hundreds of students out there who were students of Joyce's.
Many people here in Anne Arundel County were taught music by Joyce, Peacoat, McManus.
That's right. So help us spread the word so that we can engage the next Lin-Manuel Miranda and others to rise to their best.
Yes.
So Dr. Blackshear, thank you for sharing this exciting opportunity, and I'm Alderwoman Finlayson saying thank you, and I'll see you the next time.